Nowadays, everyone is talking about the coronavirus pandemic, and its attendant effects are alarming throughout the world. Education is also affected badly, as most educational institutions and other professional organizations have converted their various activities to e-learning. Colleges and universities have been at the forefront of the nation's response to the alarming spread of the novel coronavirus, with many turning to remote online learning to meet social distancing goals, though the changes are currently viewed as temporary. As of March 23, 2020, over 1.3 billion learners were asked to stay at home due to closures in response to COVID-19. According to United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization monitoring, over 100 countries have implemented nationwide closures, impacting over half of the world's students' population. School closures impact not only students, teachers, and families, but have far-reaching economic and societal consequences. School closures in response to COVID-19 has exposed social and economic issues, including student debt, digital learning, food insecurity, and homelessness, as well as access to healthcare, housing, internet, and disability services. We are living amidst what is potentially one of the greatest threats in our lifetime to global education, a gigantic educational crisis. As of March 28, 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused more than 1.6 billion children and youth to stop schooling in 161 countries, which is close to 80% of the world's enrolled students. We were already experiencing a global learning crisis, as many students were in school but were not learning the fundamental skills needed for life. According to the World Bank's Learning Poverty Indicator, the percentage of children who cannot read and understand at age 10 stood at 53% in low and middle income families and countries before the outbreak started. This pandemic has the potential to worsen these outcomes even more if nothing is done fast.
Children learning at home is supposed to be encouraged, not because of they need to do it, but because of the situation surrounding the country, the situation we are right now. Ordinarily, if we don't have anything that will keep them at home, I don't think it's necessary. You understand? Aside personal lessons like home teachers coming around to teach them. Yes, if it's on online teaching, yes, we'll encourage it. Like in my children's school right now, they're doing online lessons, like Benedion Educational Center. It's been so nice, and it has really encouraged my kids, and really broadened their knowledge as to just staying idle at home. You understand? So it will be most welcome if we can practice it in the country.
Children learning from home, especially this period of coronavirus, well, is a welcome development, is a good setting. But there is something we should look at. How many children can be able to afford tab or computer in the house? That is where the challenge is. And of course, for some time now it has been a problem in Nigeria where electricity is something you cannot even talk about. How many parents has generator in their house? Even when there is generator, sit at home, no business. How many can afford to buy petrol? But all the same, if the rich can afford it, I'm sure they can. Well, it's a good development.
In the first instance, I don't see why Nigeria can't be ready for children learning from home, because as the practice is now all over the world, online education is one of the novelties in education now. And the coronavirus pandemic have come to show to us that it is possible in life that times will come when it is not possible to go to school normally. And what that means is that children have to do all their learning online and they have to continually get assessed, because in child development you can't leave them idle. I think it's the proper thing to do in this kind of time, to do online teaching and training of the kids. But whether Nigeria is ripe for it, I'll say yes. But are we ready for it? Are we up to date with it? Is the one I'll say I can't really say. But I think it is something that calls for strong thought, because we have seen the situation now, and it's also what it mean is that it's possible that this kind of situations can occur in the future. So we have to be ready. We have to be prepared at all times for any circumstance that we find ourselves. And distance learning, online schooling are things that we must embrace at this age and time, because situations can force them on us. And when those kind of situations come, we should not say that we're not ready for it. We should have no excuses. We must live with the world, because as we are now, Nigeria exists in a global table with every other country.
Richer countries are better prepared to move to online learning strategies, although with a lot of effort and challenges for teachers and parents. In middle-income and poorer countries, the situation is very mixed, and if nothing is done appropriately, the vast inequality of opportunities that exist will be amplified. Many children do not have a desk, books, internet connectivity, a laptop at home, or supportive parents, while others do. What we need to avoid or minimize as much as possible is for those differences in opportunities not to expand and cause the crisis to have an even larger negative effect on poor children's learning. Fortunately, a lot of people are worried that relying exclusively on online strategies will imply reaching only children from better off families. The appropriate strategy in most countries is to use all possible delivery modes with the infrastructure that exists today. Use online tools to assure that lesson plans, videos, tutorials, and other resources are available for students and properly most teachers.
When you say children should learn from home, it will be difficult, because as Nigerians we don't have the instruments to teach children at home. Some parents cannot even afford home lesson teachers, and coupled with this virus of a thing, you don't know who is coming to your house, whether that's a stranger coming to your house has this virus. So everybody is trying to play safe. So no visitors. And most children these days, without their teachers, they hardly learn. You really have to sit them down. But when you turn your eye the other way, they are gone doing other things. Most children, most schools, they don't even know how to use the computer. So how will children now learn from home? We have not reached that stage of teaching children from home. Government is saying they are going to give free lights this period to subsidize for coronavirus. We don't still get the lights, so it cannot work. There's no way you teach children through radio where there's no lights. How do you get it? They should make it straight. They should be straight with us Nigerians, so that we'll know where we're going.
The Bible told us to always train our children the way they should grow, so that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. Who are the first teachers? Parents. So the lockdown only gave you the opportunity, making your children know you better, teach them what you are supposed to be teaching them. Now they are home with us. I mean, personally, anyway, I feel it's good, because you let them know what is good for them as your own children. You wouldn't, like the Bible says, you wouldn't give your child will not ask for food and give them stones. So teach them what you think they can become of tomorrow. So we are the first teachers. We should learn. We should be happy to stay home with them and teach them what we are supposed to make them know. And to God be the glory, this crisis of COVID-19, I would say it's an opportunity for most of the parents to know their children better, or the children to know their parents better. So it's good we obey the government and the law of the country. Stay home so that we don't spread all these things. Disease don't just go around by themselves. We are the carriers. So if we are home with our kids and be sure they are safe, and they will learn more from you as a parent, I think it's good.
Radio and TV are also very important tools. The advantage we have today is that through social internet, WhatsApp or SMS, ministries of education can communicate effectively with parents and teachers and provide guidelines, instructions, and structure to the learning process. Using content delivered by radio or TV, remote learning is not only about online learning, but about mixed media learning with the objective of reaching as many students as possible today.
The private schools, I think those one has those things that will enable the children to learn. But like the government school, like my school, my primary school in the village now, or rather nursery school, I don't think they have those facilities in the villages. It's only time here maybe with those that are educated. But in the interior, I don't think that is possible.
The idea is not a bad idea, actually. It's something that should break the gap or the bridge between the state home thing. You know, it's not going to reduce their thinking span. It's supposed to continue, you know, in order for them to add more knowledge to what they already have. But the problem we are having in this country is power. So the question is every area of this particular state going to have constant power that will support that scheme? That is the question. So I support it, but I'm still asking, what is the measure put in place for such development? That is the question. So if that can be seen to, will the Minister for your Commission for Education will actualize that particular aim.
Children learning from home, I don't think is all that okay for me, because it is when you go to school, you learn more, you experience more. Because staying at home will bring a lot of hindrances. There are other children, other peers that are there that will not allow them to learn more. But when they are in school, they can learn more and focus on their studies.
Learning from home because coronavirus? No, it's impossible as far as this country is concerned, because we haven't got that technology.
Maintaining the engagement of children, particularly young secondary school students, is critical. Dropout rates are still very high in many countries, as a long period of disengagement can result in a further increase. Going to school is not only about learning math and science, but also about social relationships and peer-to-peer interactions. It is about learning to be a good citizen and developing social skills. That is why it is important to stay connected with the school by any means necessary. For all students, this is also a time to develop psycho-emotional skills and learn more about how to contribute to society as a citizen. The role of parents and family, which has always been extremely important, is critical in that task. So, a lot of the help that ministries of education provide, working through mass media, should also go to parents. Radio, TV, SMS messages can also be used to provide tips and advice to them on how to better support their children. Caroline Okonji reporting.